What's up everyone, I'm Thanos and today we're traveling to New Eden, our own paradise here on Earth. Or is it just an illusion? Well, there's only one way to find out. So, let's find the box and dive right in. Let's dive into this box and see what's hiding inside. For years we've been polluting, poisoning and destroying, leaving nothing behind. Now only New Eden remains, controlled by the Center. Inside our city walls, the Center, a powerful network, ensures our survival and prosperity. It runs this city and manages our media, streets, stores and our lives. However, there's a war brewing. Forces from within our walls are breaking down this fake image of order and exposing what lies beneath. Maybe the Center isn't the protector we thought it was. Someone is pulling all the strings, but we're starting to wake up. We must fight back and reveal the truth. Spread the signal to all. Your Cyber Odyssey begins. In Cyber Odyssey, each player is in charge of 1 to 3 agents who are members of an organization that seeks to resolve the abuses committed in New Eden. Each turn, event cards guide the course of the game. Action cards will set the player order and activate agent abilities. The goal of the game is to utilize these actions in order to complete investigations and collect investigation cards. At the beginning of the game, every player chooses an organization. This organization comes with a dashboard for placing investigation cards, a resource counter, an agent's dashboard which has all the info and equipment of the agent, a health slider, and a deck of modifier cards. Then each player draws 3 action cards. Players decide the investigation they want to solve and find the 4 story cards that correspond to that investigation. Each organization places their story cards on their dashboard and turns the first one face up. After that, players choose their starting hand of 3 investigation cards. In order to do so, 3 cards are drawn from the investigation deck and the first player will choose a card. Cards will be immediately refilled and the next player in counterclockwise order will select their card. This continues until all players have chosen 3 investigation cards which are all placed on the organization dashboard. Now it's time to set up the boards of New Eden where everything takes place. A main board and 5 district boards are placed in the middle of the table. Supply tokens are set aside, 3 of each for the available stores to indicate the available stock on each of the stores. These stores have weapons, cyber implants, gear and vehicles that agents can use or equip. Finally, shuffle the agent seats deck and the support cards deck into 2 piles and draw 3 cards from each one. This represents the population of New Eden. All other tokens and cards are placed near the board as they will be used while the game progresses. Each turn in Cyber Odyssey consists of 5 phases. Beginning with the event phase, this phase represents the events that take place during the course of the game. Event cards are added to the news track and every turn these cards will move 1 step to the left. After sliding the event cards, a new one is drawn and added to the news track in the location indicated on the card. For example, a card with number 4 will stay in the game for 4 turns. Events are resolved by placing agents on them during the activation phase. The second phase of the game is a strategy phase. This phase will define the player order and some actions that the players can take. Each player draws 1 action card and then they secretly choose an action card and reveal them at the same time. Each action card has a number in the bottom right corner called the initiative value. The player with the lowest number will be the first player, the player with the second lowest will be the second, and so on. Then is the activation phase. And now it's when things get really interesting. Players will activate their agents and get closer to solve the investigations. Each player chooses one of their agents and activate their work action shown in the bottom right corner of the agent card. This work action is different for each agent and must be each player's first action of the turn. If a player has less than 3 agents, they can activate the corresponding activation on the action card they chose in the strategy phase. By activating the different types of action cards, players can start an event card mission where they can play their agents on event cards in order to interrupt or counter them. This means that they may get some loot or cancel the effect of that event card. If an agent is in the district as another agent, they can initiate combat. Also, they can perform a hacking action where an agent, depending on the level of their hacking skill, will draw a number of hacking cards and passes them to the player of their choice. That player will have to choose one of those cards and apply its effects. The travel action. This allows players to travel from one district to another. A travel card is drawn and the effects need to be resolved before the travel is completed. This test is made easier for the agent if they use a vehicle or take a taxi by paying a certain amount of money. If not, the test will have to be completed with a penalty because of the dangers they will face on the way. With the build and network action, the agents can buy support cards from the 3 available. Using the buy action, agents spend their money to buy weapons, cyber implants, gear or vehicles from the store and add them to their agent dashboard. Agents can also have fun, because they're humans, or half humans. With the having fun action, agents get 1 XP which they can use to raise a characteristic. The recruit action allows a player to recruit 1 additional agent. Last but not least is the investigation action. This requires the player to pass 1 or more tests so the investigation is resolved. This test may be a characteristic test where a player draws a modifier card and adds their agent's value. If the result is higher than the one printed on the investigation card, then the player wins a clue token and places it on their organization. After an investigation card is resolved, the player immediately gets a new investigation card from the 3 available and places it on their organization dashboard. Combat in Cyber Odyssey can start as a requirement from an investigation card, it can be triggered by event cards, or initiated by a player. The agent is placed in the first conflict area in the district they are in. After the combat starts, agents in the same district may decide not to intervene or fight in place of the hostiles that exist there. Before the combat begins, the organizations that participate can discard 1 support card to add a number of teammates equal to the number shown in that support card. Now, depending on the type of the combat, players will set the starting positions of their agents and the hostiles that may exist. After that, players draw 2 combat cards and a number of action cards depending on the number of agents that participate in the battle. They choose 1 action card for each agent they control and add any bonuses. These action cards have a number of tactical actions that describe what this agent can do during the combat. Agents can move, attack with ranged or melee weapons, retaliate, reload, aim and dodge in order to gain advantage in combat. Then they check for bonuses from support cards or from equipped supply tokens. After that, all hostiles and teammates activate, action cards of the agents are resolved, a new combat round will begin, but after 3 rounds the combat ends. During the combat, an agent may lose health points or take damage that will give them a suppression token. Also, agents may perform an action that resolves during another character's turn, like retaliate, dodge or alert. They place a corresponding interrupt token and remove it when the action is performed or at the end of the combat round. After all players finish their turns, it's time for the end of turn to begin. Players have the chance to repair broken cyber implants, restock the store tokens, refresh their support cards, and check if any player has met the conditions for the end of the game. If yes, then all players add up the points from their investigation cards, and the player with the most points wins the game. Well, this was my story of Cyber Odyssey. Until next time, take care and remember, a person often meet their destiny on the road they took to avoid it.